Now, it has been a long, long time since I have played the Dark Forces and Jedi Knight games. Kyle Katarn, I believe, is the name of that character. But I remember playing Dark Forces way more than I did Jedi Knight. I remember playing Jedi Knight once or twice, but Dark Forces I played multiple times back in the day. And it looks like Respawn, their upcoming FPS, is inspired by Dark Forces and Jedi Knight. And it makes me wonder, are they actually going back to that character and revamping that? Or are we getting a reboot? Or are they doing something else? I don't know. But thegamer.com has this article on Dark Forces, on Respawn's upcoming game and how it was inspired by Dark Forces. And it just really got me thinking because Respawn is just like on a roll right now with everything they're doing around the Star Wars franchise. Not only did Jedi Fallen Order just blow it out of the park, Jedi Survivor's coming up, hugely anticipated. I'm going to be playing the hell out of that game here on my channel, streaming it and everything else. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want to catch more of that because I love Jedi Fallen Order. I've done 3 times through, and I have no doubt that I'm going to be doing Jedi Survivor at least a couple times through. But it was announced last year. Let's go ahead and open this up. um, EA announced that Respawn was also working on a Star Wars strategy game and a Star Wars first-person shooter, and this was from last year. This was the press release from last year. Which is there a date on this? January 25th, 2022. So a year ago, EA and Lucasfilm Games joined forces to deliver some new world-class games set within the beloved Star Wars galaxy. And Respawn Entertainment, best known for the work on Apex Legends, Titanfall, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, is leading the development and production of these new projects. Vance Sampella, Group GM and founder of Respawn, will oversee the new phase of EA's relationship with Lucasfilm, building on Respawn's award-winning history and game development expertise in telling compelling Star Wars stories. Game director Stig Asmussen and his team are already working on the Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is coming out in a month, and are joined by 2 new teams who are going to be delivering additional unique Star Wars gameplay experiences across multiple genres. Leading development of their first-person shooter is Peter Hirschman, game director at Respawn, who has a long and accomplished history with the Star Wars franchise. The third title is an upcoming strategy game through production collaboration with studio Bit Reactor. Um, it's all good stuff to think about. Details, it says here, details on both projects have been slim since they were first announced, likely because they're still early in development. But this recent job posting has given folks an idea of some of the inspirations behind the games. Notably, it seems that Dark Forces and its sequel, Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, are the 2 games that Respawn has looked to when creating Star Wars FPS. And this is the job posting that they are pulling from to get their supposition. In collaboration with Lucasfilm, the Star Wars FPS team is developing a new AAA FPS in the Star Wars galaxy, inspired by classic titles like Dark Forces and Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Our story-driven single-player game is being developed from the ground up, leveraging the power of Unreal Engine 5, which tasty, tasty news. If you haven't watched the Unreal 5 news stuff that came out the other day from all the presentations with like the real-time facial animation happening. So my wife is not a gamer, by the way, and I had her watch that part of the presentation where they brought the actors from the is it Hellsong, Hellspell? I forget the name of the games, but she came out on stage, the actress, and they just put her on stage with a tripod, has a cell phone on it, some lights. They recorded her doing some uh, acting, and then they immediately transposed it in real time and produced the in-game equivalent of that within a span of a few short minutes. And it just goes to show you, Unreal 5, the power of Unreal 5. Especially considering what it's already doing for things like The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi and all these Star Wars shows that are being produced on it. Um, Unreal is kicking ass and taking names. Anyway, they're combining the power of Unreal 5 with the inspiration and technology from Respawn's pedigree for making a best-in-class shooter game to deliver a brand new experience our players will love. So in this case, the job listing was an experienced lead mission gameplay designer with expertise in creating engaging, exciting level experiences and strong leadership skills to join us in creating our new Star Wars first-person shooter. Leading a team of talented gameplay designers, you'll guide the development of the levels across the game, looking for someone who thinks about the entire process of creating engaging, varied, unique, and fun FPS listings. There's also some additional roles, I think, but yeah. It says that the project is early in development. The new listings are for a lead mission designer, a cinematic lead, and a lead lighting artist, which suggests that Respawn is still fairly early on in the staffing process because these are leads. Considering the project was announced a year ago, it's nice to get an update, as the article says. But if they're just now getting leads going, it means they're just now progressing from sort of the design process and all the brainstorming and everything else to actually having money to put together the leads, who are then going to be able to start going from there and staffing the teams that are going to be building this out. So I would say we're still probably, I would argue, 3 to 5 years away from seeing anything concrete from them on this field. 3 years feels like that's a good ballpark to shoot for. A minimum of 3 years out at this point. But we're moving in the right direction. And it says here, Dark Forces and Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 are some pretty good choices as far as muses go. The first game it says here, the first game is fondly looked back upon as being one of the most influential Star Wars titles out there, as well as a solid FPS in its own right. The sequel is sadly less talked about, but still a classic game. That's what I was saying. Like, I remember playing the second Dark Forces game, but it's the first one that introduced us to the character. I'm gonna go look this up real quick because it's been a while since I've even considered Dark Forces. Oh man, let's dive into the wiki here. First person shooter released in 1995, back when I was 15 years old. Story set in the fictional Star Wars expanded universe, begins shortly after the original Star Wars film before flashing forward to a year after the film's main events. The game's protagonist and playable character is Kyle Katarn, a mercenary working on behalf of the Rebel Alliance who discovers the Galactic Empire's secret Dark Trooper project. Oh, so good. Oh, the level design and it was kind of like playing Doom, but you were playing um, as Kyle Katarn. And later on, they did the follow-up game to that, which was Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. Also says here the video game Lethal Alliance. I don't remember Lethal Alliance at all. Oh, Nintendo DS and PlayStation Portable. That's why. Also books, materials, Jedi Knight series of the Sith, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. He's one of the playable characters and is a major NPC in Star Wars Jedi Knight um, Jedi Academy. So he's showed up in quite a few games. Really cool character. And it's cool that they are taking inspiration from that. Now, I have, like I said, very fond memories of this game being a teenager at the time when this came out. I remember playing this on the PC, and I also remember my uncle and my cousins got it for the PlayStation. So I played it first on the PC, and then ended up playing it on the PlayStation with my cousins. Um, it was just a classic shooter for the time. In today's standards, it's extremely clunky. I've watched some playthroughs recently of people going through and playing it. And I'm just like, I can't believe that. It's funny to look back now as I'm getting into my middle-aged years. Look back on the games that we thought were groundbreaking, and they were for the time. Not thinking that they were groundbreaking for the time, but we can look back on them now and go, oh my God, that looks extremely dated. But also going, hey, look at what it did for the genre and moving forward where we are today. And so I'm very interested to see what Respawn is going to pull. I've loved everything they've done. Like, I finally went back and played Titanfall 2 the other day, and not the other day, but recently. That game loop, that whatever it is, 10, 12 hours of gameplay that you get from Titanfall 2 is one of the best single player experiences I have ever had in a video game. And it really helped me understand where they got the inspiration to go do Jedi Fallen Order, because you see a lot of the same mechanics in Titanfall 2 that then come up in Jedi Fallen Order, and it's like, wow. And looking forward to what they're doing with Jedi Survivor. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for more support if you can, because it keeps me on there. And I get to do this full time thanks to the support of our community members. Memberships start at $3 a month here on YouTube. Private videos, polls, all sorts of other fun stuff we do for our community. We also have a Discord channel. You can go to our Patreon page if you want to get involved with the game dev stuff that I do with my wife and my brother. You can also do super thanks and super chats on videos here and live streams. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and may the force be with you.